Definitely. And I think it would have been hard to top last year's World Cup and seeing John Henderson win it, but Simon Whitlock, Damon Hare, very much deserved winners. But what about our World Cup MVP? This is our question of the week on Twitter. We've put out 4 selections. You might decide to go with someone else, Andrew, but at the moment, our picks, we've put Simon Whitlock, Damon Hare, Team Australia. We've also put on there Gerwyn Price, Dirk van Dijvenbode, who had 2 of the big averages over the weekend. Who was your World Cup MVP?
Vitor Geronimo. No, in all seriousness, yeah, I was trying to think of who would be the most interesting pivot there. No, I think for me, you'd have to say Simon, because he won the singles against Sweden, Belgium, England and Wales. He won all 4 of his singles games during the weekend, played really, really well to win them as well. Consistent high averages, looked so composed up there, and obviously contributed massively in their doubles wins as well, because there are a couple of those fixtures where Damon didn't look as strong, and they swapped the order around, and you could tell Simon was the one driving the team forward, and he was the one that was at his peak the whole way through, and that sort of carried them as a team over the line. So, yeah, for me, I would say it was Simon, but Dirk van Dijvenbode wasn't far off that, because I thought he played incredibly, incredibly well throughout the tournament.
It's looking pretty hard to go against Simon Whitlock. Even our listeners at the moment, we've got 67% going with Simon Whitlock, 25% going with Damon Hare, and Gerwyn Price, Dirk van Dijvenbode are pretty close, about 4 or 5% each. But yeah, like you say, Simon Whitlock was 7-1 for the weekend, just lost the one game, and that was the pairs where he had that match start, and it was the double 18 that cost him over the week, if you want to say that. He missed the double 18 for the 9 darter in the first round, and it was a double 18 he had to win the final 3-0 in a clean sweep. But of course, Damon Hare comes back and wins that final game. And yeah, I don't think you can look past Simon Whitlock to win all of his singles games and battle through a bit of adversity at times as well. There were some massive checkouts over the weekend. Some checkouts came out of nowhere that saved people in games. Kim Huybrechts, the 170 in the game against Belgium and against Simon Whitlock, and Whitlock comes back in that last leg and gets over the line, and him and Damon producing that 109 average in the pairs to beat Kim and Dimitri and get through to the semi-finals. And the semi-finals, beating James Wade 4-0 with a 103 average, beating Johnny Clayton in the singles as well. Yeah, it's pretty hard to look past Simon Whitlock for that. Damon Hare, though, 6 wins, 3 defeats. He lost a few of his singles games over the weekend, but he did produce some good stuff over the weekend as well. And to get the win, as you mentioned, the final game to beat Johnny Clayton, get Australia over the line, I think you'd put him in second spot for that one, like our listeners have. And then Gerwyn Price, what an average that was against Martin Schindler, 117, at the second highest we've seen a World Cup singles. Dipped off though, didn't he, in the final? He had an 80 average in his first game against Damon Hare in the final, and that really put them on the back foot, didn't it, to lose a game like that. And okay, they came back and won the pairs, kept it alive, but I think they just ran out of juice at the end for that one. And Dirk van Dijvenbode, he had some stunning moments at the weekend as well, a 110 average against Steve Lennon in the second round, the game against Brendan Dolan, and that was a pivotal game, I think, for the Netherlands in their bid to win the World Cup. Okay, it ended in the semi-finals, but he was 3-2 down against Brendan Dolan in that second singles. Brendan Dolan leaves 8 and Dirk takes out the 153 and then holds and wins in the decider. And if it went to the pairs, we could have been talking about Northern Ireland going to the semis and maybe going all the way, because I think it was quite open going into that final session. But yeah, can't argue with the listeners. Got to be Simon Whitlock for that MVP.
Dirk provided he provided another one of those iconic bits of advice, though, didn't he? Because after he hit that 153, when he got interviewed afterwards, he was like, "You just have to hit your doubles." And it was like, true. Yes, Dirk, that's exactly what we needed to know. It's almost like when Ross Montgomery imparted those gems as well.
Yeah, maybe we need to start a book of all the great darting advice that we've seen over the years. There's plenty to fill.